questions and engage in dialogue on the issues we have been discussing throughout this program. This session will be facilitated by Ms. Neha and Ms. Radha, and we look forward to a lively and productive discussion. I invite Ms. Radha to take the session further. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Amrita ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to session 2 of day 4 of our faculty development program. So today's session was delivered by Dr. Mayank Srivastav sir on fast-changing complex area, legal challenges in fintech, blockchain, and decentralized system. So we have already heard the expert lecture. Now, this particular lecture was really thought-provoking, and now we will share our opinion on this topic through a discussion and open presentation. So I will invite all of you to share your thoughts, and please feel free to speak anytime. So now let's have a quick recap of what we have discussed till now. So Dr. Mayank have discussed the concept of, Dr. Mayank discussed the concept of fintech, blockchain, and decentralized system. So he had already explained this concept. So I will only highlight the legal issues relating to these areas. Yes. So fintech here means that using technology in financial services like UPI, online lending, and neobanks. These innovations are fast, convenient, and user-friendly. But the question is, who is supervising these applications, these companies? Are they following the rules like the regular banks or not? And the other important question is, have you ever, should there be a special authority to regulate the fintech or not? So according to my opinion, absolutely, just like SEBI regulates stock market, RBI is regulating banks. So we might need a dedicated fintech regulator who understands both the technology as well as the financial laws. Now, discussing about the blockchain technology, as sir said, blockchain is like a digital network, digital notebook, where every transaction is recorded publicly. It is transparent, but still it is really hard to regulate. But the question is, how can we protect the privacy and also stop misuse of it? According to me, a middle path is to use regulated exchanges that follow KYC rules, but still protect transaction data from public exposure. We can also allow anonymous small transactions, but enforce identity checks for large amount. Now coming to the next concept, which is DeFi and DAO. DeFi is a short form for decentralized finance, which allows people to lend, borrow, and or invest without banks. And DAO are decentralized autonomous organization. So DeFi is a method, while DAOs are the organization which are run through the code but not by the human. Yes. Now, if I talk about the issues related to DeFi, then first one is if there is no leader who is responsible when something goes wrong. So who is going to be responsible if something wrong happens? That's a big problem, and it's in traditional system we can sue a company or a CEO. In DeFi, there is no such person which could be made
यार
responsible for
21
it.
से स्टार्ट हुई थी यार, 24 है, 2 दिन और
should
की रह गई, मैंने एक
EAO be given a legal status like a company's? I think yes. Giving these organization a legal identity means we can make them follow basic rules like transparency, dispute resolution, and user protection. Now coming to the next important concept related to this session, which is smart contract. Whether the smart contract should be legal or not. Smart contracts are basically the digital agreement that run automatically when certain conditions are met, but they raise many legal questions. For example, what if there is a mistake in the code? So in normal contract, if there is any ambiguity, then we can take the help of the court to interpret these terms. But the court can't always explain itself, so we may need a human readable version or a legal override clauses. Now, the next important issue is what law applies when the users are in different countries. So this cross-border legal issues are always tricky. So the solution for it would be to include jurisdiction clauses in smart contracts, clearly stating which country's law will apply and where the dispute will be heard. The next important issue is, should the smart contract have a plain language version too? So according to me, yes. Most users are not coders. Even we are not, we don't know anything about coding. So like a bilingual form, we should have both the code and the plain language explanations. Next issue is, do we need a special code to handle tech-related disputes? According to me, of course. Tech is evolving fast. Judges who can understand both the law as well as the technology are needed. India can think tech law tribunals like NCLT, or we can say cyber appellate tribunals. So this was about today's session. If anyone would like to say anything, you are most welcome. Okay, so now taking this session forward, I would like to quote Sir Frederick Carl von Savigny. He says that law grows with the growth of the people, strengthens with the strength of the people. So here I would like to add that law should also change at the same pace as the society is growing. So nowadays in this digitalization, we need to talk about how the digitalization is affecting our society, our life. Now let's talk about how this one of the most important issues, or you can say the challenge which the digitalization has posed in front of us, is the tax liabilities of foreign digital companies. So with everything going online, companies can earn money from a country even without having an office there. So this creates a new tax challenges, especially with the foreign digital companies. Here I'm not talking about Indian digital companies, because if a particular company is an Indian company, then it is paying taxes because Indian companies are those companies which are registered as per the Companies Act, either 1956 or 2013. here I will be talking about only the foreign digital companies. Now, what is the meaning of digitalization here, or the digital companies? Digital companies here means digital tools like using digital tools like websites, applications, and online platforms to do business. For example, Amazon sells product online. We have Netflix, which streams movies. Google shows advertisement and earns money from the click. These companies don't need to be physically present here. In every country, they earn profit. That's where the problem begins, because tax system were not made for the businesses. So according to the old tax rules, earlier a company had to pay tax in a country only if it has a permanent establishment or business connection. So here permanent establishment means an office, factory, shop, or employees in that particular country. So if the income arising from a country is connected with that particular office, only then that income was taxable. So if a company opened a factory in India, so it had to pay taxes here. But if it did not have any office, even if it earned money from Indian customer, it paid nothing. So this system worked when the business was offline. Now with digital business, it creates tax gap. Now let's take the example of foreign digital companies. As I already said, Google shows advertisement to Indian users from which they are earning a huge amount of money. But they may not have any offices in India. So under the old rules, they don't pay taxes here. This creates unfairness. Why? Because Indian companies are paying taxes, but these foreign digital companies which are earning a huge amount of money, but they pay very little. So this is called the digital gap. So it means that a loss in the tax collection from the companies who operate digitally without any physically present. So now what are the challenges for the tax authorities? Now the tax government all over the world are facing this issue. First is how to track the income of these companies. It has become very difficult to trace the income of these companies because they are working all around the world. Second is how to make them pay even without having offices here. Thirdly, these companies also use something called like BEPS, if you have heard about it. BEPS means that base erosion and profit shifting. So the profit are shifted from higher tax jurisdiction to lower tax jurisdiction. So the countries like India lost a lot of tax revenues, and this has become a big global problem nowadays. If we could recall the case of Vodafone case, in which the transaction happened between two foreign companies, which indirectly took over 67% stake of an Indian company, which ultimately resulted in loss of around 2.5 billion US dollar. So it was a huge loss for India. So what India did to tackle such kind of problem? So first digital tax was introduced in the year 2016, which is known as equalization levy. So firstly, it was applied only to online advertisement. And after around 4 years in 2020, it was expanded to include both online marketplace and e-commerces. Now, if I talk about the global effort which has been taken to address these issues. So a group called OECD, the full name is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It is a group of countries, that works on global income issues. So this particular organization proposed two solutions. First is pillar 1 and second is pillar 2. Pillar 1 talks about to divide the profits. So every country where the users are they get a fair share of tax. Secondly, set a minimum global tax rate so the companies can't escape by going to low tax countries. Still, what are the challenges are there? So, but many challenges remains the same. For example, digital companies say it leads to double taxation, DTAA violation of DTAA treaty. Secondly, some say it will hurt the innovation and increase the business cost. Countries like USA oppose these taxes because their companies, Google and Amazon, are affected. Also, these are the many challenges which are still there. Also, technologies, as we already know, technology is growing fast, but law changes slowly. So keeping tax rules updated is also has become very difficult. To conclude here, I would like to say that digitalization has changed how the companies do business. They can now earn globally even without being present everywhere. They can, yes, but tax laws still follow the old rules based on physical presence, and this create the gaps and unfairness. And India and many other countries are trying to fix it either through digital taxes or international environment, but it is still a work in progress. So here we need fair modern tax rules for digital age. Now, I would like to call Ms. Neha Juneja to share her thought on AI and IPR. Thank you everyone for listening.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. In today's discussion, the topic which I will be dealing with is, can rights be granted to an AI? So what happens when a machine invents things for humanity? Who gets the patent? So in my discussion, I will deal with that what are the current patent laws in India? What is the concept of AI and the three different types of AI? And who are the countries who consider the AI as a legal entity? And if AI is not a legal entity, then what about the work which is generated by the AI? Who is the true owner of that work? And how can we identify the true owner of the AI generated work if AI is not a legal entity of that work? And if AI is not a legal entity at present time, and what happens, it become the entity in the future. So what are the challenges we can face in the future if AI become the legal entity? And then last, I finally will conclude my discussion. So as it is rightly said that artificial intelligence would be the major event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last unless we learn how to avoid the risk. So the introduction of my discussion: artificial intelligence, which is present in number of industries and created the new opportunities and challenges situations for the IPR rights. I will be dealing with how AI technologies affect IPR laws, with particular dealing with important topics that who owns the work which is created by the AI. Is it the AI who is the owner of that work? Or if AI is not the owner, then how we can identify the true owner of that work which is created by the AI? So the conversation focus on existing IPR laws which frequently fail to handle the special features of artificial intelligence, such as the issue of whether AI system actually qualify as writer or inventor. Can at present time we can say that this work is invented by AI or AI is the creator of this work? Furthermore, because AI technologies are developing, IP laws must be re-evaluated to strike a balance between advancing technical innovation and preserving the rights of human creatures. Now, coming to the concept of AI. So, how one can define the concept of AI and what is AI? So, as rightly said by the sir yesterday, AI is something which is created by the human, but it is not human. So, in a layman language, the technology, which is known as artificial intelligence, which is created by humans, improved by the machines, and has the power to change every facet of human life. So, broadly, there are three types of AI which we use at present day. First is narrow AI, second is AI in general, and the third is super AI. So the narrow AI, which narrow AI is something which we call as weak AI. But since it is AI, so nothing can be weak in AI. So it can also be said as restricted AI. It is something, this kind of technology is that which we use in our everyday life. For example, Siri, uh, for example, Google Maps, which we use to navigate the directions. So this is a kind of technology which can perform a particular task at particular point of time. Example, Siri, Spotify. Okay. Next is AI in general. So AI is in general is that which we have not achieved yet, but its implementation is anticipated. So general artificial intelligence is problem solving technique, and its goal is to become so optimized in the future that it can outperform the human ability. So AI in general is something which we have not achieved, but our aim is to achieve in future. The next is super AI, which is also called as advanced AI. It is something which has issues. Many academics believe that this is the AI which will eventually lead to the unemployment in a country, as it is anticipated that these robots would perform exceptionally well in variety of domains and can replace humans in the future. So these are the three broad categories of the AI: narrow AI, advanced AI, and AI in general. So this is about AI. Now, second is what are the patent laws in India? So current patent laws and to whom the patent can be awarded. So according to the IP law 1970, patents are awarded for the process. It can be awarded for the invention. It can be awarded to a product or a process which has involved the inventive step and is capable of the industrial application. So where is the problem? So the problem lies in the fact that, which is the most fundamental challenge, that AI is having a threat to the patent law in such a manner regarding the inventorship. Under most patent system, only a natural person, that is a human being, can be considered as an inventor. However, AI system such as technique learning models and neural networks become increasingly autonomous in their creative capabilities, that they can generate the novel ideas without direct human input. So the current laws of patent considered only human as an inventor. But what about if that invention is made by the AI? In that case, how can we identify the true owner? Is it the end user, or is it the person who owns that AI company? Then who will be the true owner of that property? So the answer to this will be covered later on. But there are two cases in which the question raises that AI can be considered as an inventor or not. So for this, I refer to case laws. So first is with regard to the Sophia, who is robot. So what happened in October 2017, Sophia, who is a human robot, was granted a citizenship by Saudi Arabia, and she became the first robot to receive such a status. She received the status of a human. And the announcement was made during the Future Investment Initiative conference, and it quickly had a global attention. During the event, Sophia participated in a live interview where she expressed her gratitude for the recognition. However, the legal expert and the human rights advocates questioned the implications, pointing out that how Sophia may be granted more rights than some actual human residents in the country. So, can a AI invented robot can granted be a citizen, or can it become a citizen? So the answer to this is no. Sophia is not a legal entity. For the legal entity, the major things are that legal entity can be anything. A person can be a legal entity. Government can be a legal entity. An organization even can be a legal entity. But that is something who can possess property, having rights and duty, having accountability towards the government, accountability towards the court. But in this case, Sophia is cannot be considered as a legal entity, as she do not have any rights, responsibility, or accountability uh, for the courts. This event was widely viewed as a publicity stunt to draw attention to Saudi Arabia push for the technological development and global relevance in the AI innovation. So this is the first example, and the second is the Davos case. Recently, a machine called Tabus, which was created by Dr. Stephen, was named as an inventor of two products. First, a food container, which is an insulation, and the second is flashlight for attracting the attention in case of emergencies. So this application moved to the various patent offices, for example, in US, UK, EU, European Union, and Germany. But they all rejected the application, ruling that AI cannot be an inventor under the current law. However, there are countries which recognize Dabus as an invention. Africa became the first country to accept Dabus as an inventor in 2021, followed by the Australian court ruling, which later overruled. So these cases demonstrate the legal inconsistency around the world and highlight the limitation of traditional patent definition when applied to the machine-generated creativity. So now come to the conclusion that AI cannot be held as a legal entity, because legal entity is something which can have rights, duties, which can possess property, which have accountability. But from the two examples, we can conclude that AI cannot be considered as a legal entity, as AI lacks legal personhood and more moral agency. Therefore, it cannot be held or exercise legal rights. Current legislations treat AI as a tool or product with legal responsibility, failing on human developers. So, if AI is not the owner of the inventions, then who are the owners of that invention? Since AI cannot be legally own property or cannot be held accountable, we conclude that there is no legal entity of AI. So now the challenge comes how to identify the rightful owner of AI generated invention. Who will be the owner? Is it the programmer who will be the owner? End user, the person who owns the company, or the person who trained the AI? Who will be the owner? So the answer to this question, if AI is not an owner of an invention, as AI do not having the legal entity, ownership typically goes to the human who created, trained, or used the AI to generate the invention. If AI was used within a company or research institution, in that case, the ownership usually belongs to the employer under the employment or work for hire laws. In cases where AI operates autonomously, in which there is no involvement of human, in which there is no human qualification needed, so in that case, the invention may not be eligible for the patent protection, and that will automatically fall into the public domain. So this is with regard to the present laws of AI, the patent laws of AI, and if AI is not considered as a legal entity, then who will be considered as the true owner? So my next topic is the future challenges. What will happen if in future the AI is considered as a legal entity? So there can be broadly, I cover 4 challenges which we can face in future if AI becomes legal entity in future. First, policy issues. Second, legal issues. Third, liability of AI. And fourth, patent awarding and patent infringement issue. So policy issues include the lack of global harmonization and unclear rules for AI-generated inventions. With regard to the legal issues revolve around defining ownership when AI is involved. With regard to the AI liability, remains complex as AI cannot be held legally accountable, raising question about who is responsible for its action. And with regard to the fourth challenge, that is patent infringement, becomes challenging as AI may replicate protected invention, and assigning the liability for such actions is unclear and current legal frameworks. So we see that at present, AI is not considered as a legal entity, but in future, if it will be considered as a legal entity, even then it will be a challenge. So at last, by concluding my presentation, so in near future, as artificial intelligence can surpass the human intelligence and drives unprecedented innovation, global IPR laws must evolve to protect and regulate AI-generated inventions. However, AI creates technologies which is harmful to the humanity. It poses serious ethical and legal risk. So if in future we try to include AI as a legal entity, so our first aim is to create a balance between the AI laws and to develop our patent laws and IPR laws. But we try to balance it out, and we try the more power is with the human. It is not the AI that surpasses the human. So this framework must ensure transparency, accountability, and human oversight, and it must guarantee that human retain the absolute authority to override. It is not the AI that override, it is human that always override. So AI decisions and control its functioning, preserving human welfare and ethical governance in an increasingly AI-driven world. Thank you. So now the floor is open for the discussion. If anyone wants to share your thoughts, you can.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Vipul.
Hello. Am I audible?
Vipul. You have to say. अरे आ जाओ ना आप ही आ जाओ.
Now, group 3 is invited to participate to present your thought.
Is there any
Yes.
particular name, or shall I start if you give me permission?
Mr. Vipul, you can start.
Mr.
Okay.
Vipul, you are not audible.
Am I not audible?
Yes,
Hello.
Vipul Kumar.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. So, thank you so much, everyone, and respected all the faculties. It is very proud moment for me because today I'm getting the chance to speak in front of the all the faculty, those who taught me, and there is lots of teacher who taught me. Pallavi ma'am, Ajay sir, Rumi ma'am, Richa ma'am, Rahman sir, Prashant sir, Komal ma'am, Sudhir sir, Gaurav sir, and Mudit sir, many one. So let's, although I haven't prepared on a particular topic, but yes, whatever I just last 3 days and last 3 days, whatever we have discussed, I am just going to conclude and in a short way and a simple way. And I had some research also regarding the how AI is playing the important role in every sector, not in only legal sector. It's a political sector, economical sector, financial sector, and the healthcare sector, and the most important education sector. since I have been in the field of teaching last 6 years, so I can see the development in the terms of education sector and how AI is how AI is impacting to the whole society, how the education system has been totally changed. So let's start it with the permission of all the faculties. So good afternoon, everyone. Today we stand at the crossroad of the rapid technology evolution and the legal transformation, and we believe that मैं ये मानता हूं, ये मेरा मानना है और मेरे ख्याल से यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं, participants and teachers, my teachers and all, we believe that कि after the industrial revolution की बाद से काफी चीजें चेंज हुई हैं, एंड आज हम उस दौर में खड़े हैं. आफ्टर द 75 years of independence we are here, एंड सब चीजें एक तरीके से देखा जाए तो वो एआई पे बिल्कुल डेवलप हो चुकी हैं पूरी तरीके से. हमारी सोसाइटी, इवन एक फैमिली में, इवन इफ वी टॉक अबाउट इन अ फैमिली, इफ यू वांट टू कन्वे अ मैसेज, so we don't have a time to talk with each other, although we are sitting together, we are eating together, but still we are posting the things in a family group, or we want to give certain information regarding anything, so there is a common family group in which we are sharing everything. So AI के कुछ पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट भी है, कुछ नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट भी है. So artificial intelligence is not science fiction anymore, it is our present, and I believe अभी प्रेजेंट है तो ये फ्यूचर भी होगा, ये फ्यूचर भी होगा. सो एंड एज एआई बिकम डीपली वुवन इनटू आवर डिजिटल सोसाइटी, हर सेक्टर में हम देख सकते हैं. इवन सपोज आजकल वो एक हाई श्री करके फोन में भी ऐसे बहुत सारे एप्स आने लगे जहां पर आसानी से आप यू कैन आस्क एनीथिंग, यू कैन आस्क अबाउट द टाइमिंग, यू कैन आस्क अबाउट द स्टॉप वॉच, कैलकुलेटर, and you have to just say, hey, you need something, and it will be created automatically. So from smart assistance and facial recognition to predictive policing and content moderation, it challenges our legal system in unprecedented way. So can we say that कि एआई केवल एक ही सेक्टर में नहीं है, आज हर सेक्टर में एआई पूरी तरीके से इवॉल्व हो चुका है. आई विल गिव यू सर्टेन एग्जांपल्स आल्सो, मे बी आप लोगों ने उनके नाम भी नहीं सुनेंगे, बट यस, ये सारे काम एआई से किए जाते हैं. नाउ we need to understand AI in the digital society. So in today era, how AI played an important role. So AI referred to a machine that mimic human intelligence, learning, reasoning, and problem solving. So these are the functions of AI. Example, the very famous, and आजकल तो हर एक बच्चा इस्तेमाल करता है. इवन मैं भी पढ़ाता हूं तो इवन 9th क्लास का, एक 10th क्लास का बच्चा, इवन 11th क्लास और 12th क्लास के बच्चे भी, सपोज आई गिव द क्वेश्चंस एंड यू हैव टू राइट द आंसर, बच्चा तुरंत से चैट जीपीटी खोलता है, चैट जीपीटी खोलता है.
Participants are requested, please keep your microphone on mute mode, please. One speaker at a time, please.
Shall I start, sir?
Please.
Yeah. So I was just giving the example in the school life, what's happening right now. We can get anything. Even we can ask from the AI, what are the process, and I was giving the example of the student. In the test paper or even in the exam, students are writing answer from the chat GPT. And actually it is very hampering. The value of NCRT has been decreased. Why? And it has been decreasing day by day. Why? Because we are getting easily things on the chat GPT, Gemini, and other platform also. So there is lots of negative impacts also. So example, chat box like chat GPT, self-driving cars, medical diagnosis, and tools and surveillance system. Now, come to the AI roles in the society. Now, I give you the example. कैसे एआई अलग अलग सेक्टर में अपना रोल दिखा रहा है. सबसे पहले हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर के बारे में बात करें. सो एआई डायग्नोसिस डिजीजेस, मैनेजेस हेल्थ रिकॉर्ड्स. बहुत से ऐसे टूल्स हैं, बहुत से ऐसे एआई के इक्विपमेंट है जिससे आसानी से हम किसी भी डिजीज के बारे में पता कर सकते हैं. आई गिव यू द एग्जांपल्स आल्सो. देयर आर various AI tools, various AI app which has been used by Ministry of Health for the different purpose. I give you the example CDSS, that is Clinical Decision Support System. The second one is Sanjeevani. Maybe आप लोगों ने सुन रखा होगा संजीवनी के बारे में. Third, which is very prominent, MDS, that is Medical Disease Surveillance. X-ray machine हो गई आपकी. And then Arogya Setu app. During the COVID period, it was introduced Arogya Setu app. Although it has been transformed into the National Health app. And the last one is Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So there are 4 and 5. I just give you the 4 and 5 examples, but there are many examples which is totally related with the AI. Now, come to the education sector. And I believe in education sector and defense sector, AI has played very important role. And still it is playing very, very important role. So I give you the example of the education sector also. So Anuvadani app, maybe आप लोगों ने सुन रखा होगा अनुवादनी app. This is the app which deals with the multi-language and education and diksha. Sorry. So Anuvadani app is one of the app. Through this app and through this AI tools, you can easily learn any language. It is not important like you can learn only English. You can go for the any language. The next one is Bharat Generation. Then Sarvam 1. Then NEAT, that is National Education Alliance for Technology. So these are the various app or AI tools which are using in the education system. Then is Khanmingo and the grade scope. Then come to the finance sector. In finance sector, there are various tools which are using by the Ministry of Finance. And we can give the examples also right now. जो budget जो pass किए जा रहे हैं हमारे यहाँ पर, जो budget जो किए जा रहे हैं, अब वो paperless हो चुका है. अब आसानी से चीजें हम लोगों ने digitally कर दिया वहां पर, और चीजें आसानी से वहां पर easily हम record अगर हम, if you want to find anything regarding the per capita income, if you want to find out anything regarding the GDP, national income, whatever economic terms, we can easily get through the AI. Even sometimes we also use the AI. कुछ भी फाइंड आउट करने के लिए आसानी से जाइए चैट जीपीटी पर, आसानी से आप कुछ भी फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. सो इन फाइनेंस देयर इज केवाईसी सिस्टम AML, दैट इज एंटी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग. दिस इज द ऐप इन विच अगर कोई भी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कुछ भी इस तरीके के ऑफेंस करता है, दे कैन इजीली गेट, क्योंकि उनका रिकॉर्ड सारा का सारा उस ऐप पर होगा, उस AI टूल्स पर होगा, जहां से आसानी से हम फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. सो दीज आर दी पॉजिटिव थिंग्स. नाउ in governance, AI for governance, public सर्विस डिलीवरी आसानी से, एज बहुत सारे ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म है लाइक Amazon, फ्लिपकार्ट एंड वेरियस प्लेटफॉर्म, स्नैपडील, वेरियस प्लेटफॉर्म जहां पर आसानी से आप चीजें अपनी डील कर सकते हो. देन सर्विलेंस एंड पॉलिसिंग, प्रेडिक्टिव पॉलिसिंग, facial recognition. Recently, I think if I'm not wrong, it just before 1 year ago or 6 months ago, there was an actress. She was the South Indian actress, and उनके फेस का डीप फेक बनाया गया था. एंड आफ्टर दैट इट हैज बिकम वेरी इजी एंड इट हैज बिकम अ वेरी मतलब हैबिचुअल की आसानी से किसी की भी डीप फेक बना के आप उसको पब्लिकली डिफेम कर सकते हैं. एंड इट वाज हैपेंड. सो these are the impacted of AI. Next, digital society defined. Now, what is digital society? So, a society where technology and internet-based tools are essential in daily life. बिल्कुल सही बात है. आज की सोसाइटी में हम टेक्नोलॉजी और AI टूल्स का इतना आसानी से इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं कि आसानी से चीजें मिल जाती. इवन इफ यू गो टू द पर्टिकुलर मॉल एंड इफ यू आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट on which floor which shops are located and which things you can easily get. So if you're not aware about, there is a AI tools also. I'm just sharing my recent experience. Yesterday, I went to the mall and I was not aware about where is that shop and where is that shop, from where I could get that particular things. I was not aware about, and it was also very embarrassing. I cannot ask. मतलब मैं पूछ नहीं सकता था. So there was a particular AI tool something, and you can go there, you can search there. इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर है, इस फ्लोर पर है, ये शॉप नंबर है. सो इट वाज वेरी इजीली. सो आज के डिजिटल सोसाइटी में एआई ने बहुत इजी चीजें बना दी हैं. ना कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है? डाटा ड्रिवन है, गवर्नेंस है, डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन है, एंड स्मार्ट सिटीज ऑल्सो. नाउ व्हाट आर द इम्पैक्ट ऑन what are the impact of AI on society? So positive impact are also there, but negative impacts are also there. Positive are efficiency increase हो चुकी है, automation चीजें आसानी हो चुकी है, accessibility and new opportunity has been created. Now negative aspects are also there. Job displacement in macroeconomics, समष्टि अर्थशास्त्र में, मैक्रोइकोनॉमिक्स में एक कॉन्सेप्ट है सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम. आप लोगों ने इकोनॉमिक्स में पढ़ रखा होगा. सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम में देयर इज अ थ्री मेन प्रॉब्लम. हाउ टू प्रोड्यूस, whom टू प्रोड्यूस, किसके लिए उत्पादन करें, कैसे करें, और क्या करें, व्हाट टू प्रोड्यूस. देयर आर थ्री सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम. सो नाउ हाउ टू प्रोड्यूस, इन विच देयर इज अ टू टेक्निक. एक होती है पूंजी प्रधान तकनीक और एक होती है श्रम प्रधान तकनीक, लेबर टेक्निक, और एक हो चुका है आपका कैपिटल टेक्निक्स. सो कैपिटल टेक्निक्स में हम मशीन का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, और आज आप देखिए कि एआई ने इतना ज्यादा इंपैक्ट कर दिया है कि कहीं ना कहीं एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट पे काफी इफेक्ट आ चुका है. सो पीपल हैज बिकम जॉब डिस्प्लेसमेंट. Privacy is the biggest problem. Recently, there was a landmark judgment. Just I think last week it was delivered by the Supreme Court that call recording of wife by the husband is not the infringement of the right to privacy. And many other judgments also. Recently, in 2023, data protection bill was also passed. But misinformation also, biasness also. So these are the negative impact. Now, data privacy. AI system feed on a big data. Where the data coming from? सबसे बड़ा सवाल यही है. मैं बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि मैं अलग अलग जगहों से, अलग अलग कंपनी से, आई डोंट नो कि मैंने अपना नंबर कहाँ शेयर किया, और आसानी से मुझे बहुत सारे कॉल्स आते हैं. आई डोंट नो कि वो डेटा कैसे गया, कैसे उनको डेटा मिल गया, इशू क्या है इसकी. कंसेंट आपने दिया था, सर्विलेंस है, मिसयूज ऑफ पर्सनल डेटा का हो रहा है. एग्जाम्पल, कैम्ब्रिज एनालिटिकल स्कैंडल. I think day after before, like yesterday on Telegram, I got some message from unknown number, and I was shocked. It was one of my colleagues' number. When I just went to the chat box, I just opened the link. I was shocked. It was not her number. It was from the outside, and they were saying that just click on the that certain app, you will get certain things. So इतना मिसयूज हो चुका है कि अब कॉन्टेक्ट. टेलीग्राम इज नॉट सेफ. टेलीग्राम इज नॉट एट ऑल सेफ, because we are facing lots of challenges. We are facing lots of problems. We cannot share. Although we are not sharing our data, but still we are getting messages, texts, calls from the different company, institution where हमने कभी विजिट भी नहीं किया, जहां पर वहां से भी कॉल्स आ रहे हैं. एग्जाम्पल्स, कैम्ब्रिज एनालिटिकल स्कैंडल हो गया, द बिगेस्ट एग्जाम्पल. नेक्स्ट, बायस एंड डिस्क्रिमिनेशन भी हो रहा है एआई के थ्रू. देन एग्जाम्पल में डिस्क्रिमिनेशनिंग हियरिंग एल्गोरिज्म हो गया, बायस फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन हो चुका है. अकाउंटेबिलिटी एंड लायबिलिटी, दिस इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज. इफ एन एआई ड्रिवन कार कॉजेज एन एक्सीडेंट, हु इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबल? ये कल की सेशन में भी सर ने बोला था, और किसी ने सवाल भी पूछा था कि अगर एआई एआई अगर एक तरीके से एआई कार है, तो अगर कुछ एक्सीडेंट होता है, देन हु विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल? द मैन्युफैक्चरर, द सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर, द यूजर? देन in this concept also, law needs clarity on AI responsibility. IP में, intellectual property rights में, can AI create music, art or code? Yes. Who and who owns? And if there is infringement, who will be responsible for that? Cyber security and misuse. AI can be weaponized, deep fake, phishing, cyber attack, and the other things also. Now, what are the regulation? This is my last topic. What are the regulation in the global perspective? Because in India, there is no particular law which deals with, except certain laws, that is Information Technology Act. So EUI Act, that is 2020. Europe is leading with a legal framework categorizing AI by risk level. So European Union एक ग्रुप ऑफ कंट्री जो कोशिश कर रहा है कि एआई के ऊपर किस तरीके से रिस्क मैनेजमेंट किया जाए. नाउ दे आर बैनिंग हार्मफुल सोशल स्कोरिंग, रेगुलेटिंग हाई रिस्क एआई. इंडियन अप्रोच में नो स्पेसिफिक लॉ येट. Data protection bill although has been passed, Niti Aayog has also policing recommendation AI for all. In USA, sectoral regulation, in particular sector, AI को regulate करने के लिए law बनाए जा रहे हैं, healthcare, finance regulating. And in China, uses AI extensively for surveillance. China is working on AI regulation. So that's all my presentation. And if you have any questions, so you can ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Vipul sir, for sharing your insight for presentation. Now I would like to invite other participants if you would like to share your thought.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. I'm Rajesh. I'm actually, my name is there in group 2. So am I allowed to speak here
Sir,
in
you
this
are
particular
not audible
session? Hello,
properly.
ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Brijesh ji, go ahead.
Sir, my name is there in group 2. So am I allowed to speak here in group 3?
Yes,
during the session?
yes, sir, you can start.
Thank you, ma'am. This is not a presentation as such, but just an observation because
Okay.
over the last
Not an issue, sir. You just share your views and be strict to 5 to 10 minutes time with your
Fine,
views,
sir.
please, so that
Fine,
other
sir. Fine, no
participants
problem.
could also participate in the discussion.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
And try to conclude in 7 8 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Thank
I'll
you.
do
Thank
that.
you so much.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Rajesh, a research scholar at Faculty of Law, Delhi University. Over the last 4 days rather, and over different sessions, we have seen how digital tools like AI have a wider use in different sectors.
Mr. Brijesh,
Yes,
if
sir.
possible, could you please switch on your video if possible?
Sir, actually, there is a data problem and also
Okay, not an issue. Not an
unstable
issue.
network.
Please, you carry on, please.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, when in the last 4 days, we have seen how the, AI can be used as well as misused. It can be used for our welfare, for our betterment, in sectors like economics, banking, trade, and even day-to-day life services. So it has reduced our reliance on traditional mode of getting services, getting goods, or even getting information or spreading or sharing information. But at the same time, we have also observed that it has been used in misused rather in the because of in different senses and different ways, like copyright infringement, spreading misinformation, hate speech, and also commission of crime. Something one of the participants is also researching at. However, there's another important area that digital tools like AI have a deep impact on, and that is environment. Since it happens to be my area of research, that is the environment, I would like to talk about that only. Because we must remember that digitalization was resorted to minimize or abate the environmental impact from different activities. And indeed, it has been possible to uh, 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 do that, but attain that goal. But certain limitations are there because we have come across that digital technology like AI do not only have a positive side on the environment, but they have also a negative side. For example, they are responsible for a large scale of greenhouse gas emissions. And it is projected that by 2040, the 14% of total global greenhouse gas emissions would be caused by the AI or the digital infrastructure maintenance hubs, because they require energy, they require water, they require they release which is responsible for such emissions, and it is also responsible for large scale of energy consumption, water consumption, and natural resources depletion. because it depends on raw materials like rare earth metals, which is quite scarce in commodity quantity, and we have been over exploiting it, unmindful of its impact. We would also notice that the digital technology is also responsible for human rights violations, because in the mining sector or in the processing the different equipments required for this particular thing, that is digital services, for maintaining digital services, we use services of women and children without making or taking note of their welfare. They are getting exploited. Further, we are also finding that this is creating a divide between global north and global south, because global north in the sense in the terms of environmental benefits, because global north is getting the benefit of what the efforts of global south, that is the minerals, their labor, their resources. On the other hand, global south is getting nothing at all in comparison. So these are the negative impacts of on the environment of digital technologies like AI. As well, another aspect that we have recently come across is a use of AI-driven drones and missiles during the wars. This creates certain questions for international humanitarian laws, because international humanitarian law, at the moment, does talk about deliberate environmental harm during the wars or armed conflicts. But what about this technology? We don't no longer need to use chemical weapons or biological weapons as was used in US-Vietnam War. But we have seen during the Operation Sindoor or the Syrian War or Israel-Iran War, these AI-driven tools are hitting the enemy targets with precision and with maximum impact. These aspects need to be looked into. As far as law is concerned, if we look at Indian side or in India, obviously laws are there nowhere to be found. Even those laws which are there to deal with environmental impact of different activities, they are not good enough, or they are not being enforced strongly to make an impact or leave an effect on such activities. Therefore, I would like to point out that we need to keep in mind that digital technology or AI tools, they are just tools. They are just a means to attain certain things which are in our interest. We cannot let it to master us. We need to make it serve us rather than letting it to master us. Otherwise, it would become a probable bhakmasu that we all know about, or maybe most of us know about, who have gone through Shipuran and all. So this is what I want to talk about. We need to be very careful while using such tools. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your views. And now I would request Dr. Subbalakshmi, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hello, sir.
please.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, now the podium is all yours, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon to one and all present here in this online platform. I just would like to tell something about the yesterday's topic, in the sense my observation with regard to AI, as well as how it is having an influence on IPRs, especially copyright, patent, etc. Just I'll confine my presentation for 5 minutes. AI has brought a lot of transformation, we know very well, in several sectors. But one amongst them is intellectual property rights. Here, it brought a lot of challenges as well as opportunities in the field of IP, we can say, especially in the field of legal framework. So copyright is one of the intellectual property rights, and it provides for protection of art, literacy, dramatic works, musical works, and so many, even including computer softwares, as we know. There are infringement issues also at the same time, because in one person is an inventor, or a person may be an author, then other person, if he infringes that particular right, then he will become an infringer, and infringement will be there, and then penalty or fine or punishment or whatever is there, that is required, and that should be there. But what happens in case if a person who is not a natural person, and a person may be an artificial person or AI, becomes a creator, or becomes an author, or becomes a infringer? How we can tackle such situation? That is what I want to observe here. There are not many disputes I want to highlight here. The one thing is, in the United States PTO, they rejected patents for AI tool called DABUS, as we know very well, DABUS. So only because the creator is not a natural human being, it is an artificial intelligence. So even the same matter happened in United Kingdom, where DABUS was not granted with the inventor. That inventorship is not granted to the DABUS because it is not a natural human being. And even European patents authority office also rejected similar kind of things where AI inventions are not considered for any patent or copyright, nothing like that. So even in Australia, some courts, they said that yes, AI created works are not considered for copyrightship or maybe inventions for patent. But in some of the courts, even in Australia also, they granted it. But if you look into Indian one or two judgments, especially in Tech Plus Media Private Limited versus Jyoti Dhanda case, in which Delhi High Court held that AI cannot be claimed by this AI. I mean, they cannot claim authorship, or they cannot be considered as authors. And even Navigators Logistics Limited case, in the same case, New Delhi High Court, they rejected that particular matter by saying that natural person can only granted with patent as well as copyright. And as we know very well, Raghav, R-A-G-A-V, Raghav, that is a robust artificial graphic, wanted to consider that particular AI as a co-author along with the Mr. Sahni. But what happened was the work was called as Suryast. That was the two image style combinations which have been made with the help of Raghav AI. But Raghav AI was not considered as not given with authorship or copyright ownership with regard to this because that is an AI. It is rejected by US. And even Zaria of Dawn, that is a creation of AI. That means here, what happens was, so one Miss Kastanova, she applied for the right over this, but hiding the matter that the truth that this particular Zaria of the Dawn is not creation of AI. Exactly that 50% creation is done by AI, but that was the hidden. And registration was almost done. By the time the registration office came to know that, yes, AI was the hand behind this, and that was rejected. And even but in China, it is not like that because AI was granted with the copyright, patent and all, provided they say that it should be original work to provide copyright for AI. That is what the courts usually in China they say. In Japan, they did not recognize till now any AIs as authors or copyright is not granted. In 2014, one interesting case was there wherein one wildlife photographer, he traveled even in dense forest area. And then what happens was, unfortunately, his camera was picked by a macus, means a monkey kind, and he has taken a selfie. And this photographer says that because of my camera, this Mechos can take a selfie. That is why I should be provided with the opportunity to get the copyright over it. But what the authority says is like it cannot be registered, and photographer also cannot take this because selfie has been taken by a monkey kind and not by a natural human being. Your the instrument may be yours. So here also a kind of decision was given. So all these things are certain disputes I wanted to highlight before this panel because yesterday there was a topic with regard to copyright as well as AI implications and all. So thank you very much for the organizers, and this is what my observation with regard to yesterday's topic. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
For sharing your valuable knowledge with us. Now I would like to invite Dr. Girish Kesi sir to share your thought.
Yeah, good afternoon, the organizers and all those present here. Hope I am audible. So, I would like to express my observation with regard to this, theme relating to artificial intelligence, and I would be expressing my views in the context of fundamental duties. So artificial intelligence and fundamental duties, the intersection between it and understanding artificial intelligence in the context of fundamental duties. So as we all are aware that Constitution imposes a fundamental duty under Article 51A of the Constitution. And over a period of time, we have understood how judiciary has interpreted this Article 51A. Actually, it is this article which determines the breadth, width, scope of fundamental rights also. So, various issues have been discussed, deliberated in the last few days with regard to artificial intelligence. The only observation what I wanted to say here is we say that there is artificial intelligence revolution which is taking place, and I personally believe that it is too premature to decide whether there is positive impacts which are more or negative impacts are more. But what we need to keep in mind is whoever who makes use of AI, it is a duty of every person, every citizen, or a corporate entity which makes use of AI to keep in mind Article 51A of the Constitution. And we are not supposed to make use of AI so as to bulldoze what is being enshrined in Article 51A. Rather, it has to be made use of in such a manner so as to realize the constitutional goals. For example, like when we look into Article 51A subclause G, where it is a duty of all of us, the citizens of this country, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. Being a professor of law, when I look into these days how this chat GPT and other softwares, like wherein the students are making use of to escape from the plagiarism test. So when we resort to these kind of things, it's a situation where we are not striving towards an excellence. That happens to be a constitutional goal, and it is also a duty being the citizen of this particular country. And when we look into fundamental duties, it speaks about almost all aspects of life, be it secularism, be it science and technology, be it respect towards women, gender justice, anything and everything. And 51A clause E, which very specifically says that renounce the practices which are derogatory to the dignity of women. And when we make use of AI, one should be very cautious that nobody will make use of an AI which undermines the dignity of women. And it is also a duty to renounce those practices which renounces which derogates the dignity of women. Same way, this AI should be made use of to promote cultural harmony, to promote the spirit of common brotherhood. It should not be made use of other way around so as to erode what is being explicitly mentioned in Article 51A of the Constitution. Even when we look into Niti Aayog, which is a think tank of India, which had come up with this particular national strategy for artificial intelligence in 2018, wherein it very clearly says that in India, we want to make use of artificial intelligence so as to achieve inclusive growth. Inclusive growth includes poverty reduction, access to basic services, social inclusion, sustainable development, equitable distribution of resources, and even when we look into this national strategy for artificial intelligence, what is being developed by Niti Aayog, which is also focusing from the point of view of fundamental duties. So the only observation what I wanted to make before this particular platform is whenever we make use of AI, we should always keep in mind the fundamental duties which have been imposed on all of us by the Constitution of India. Thank you. Thank you for the patient listening. Thank you everyone for present here.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge with us. Now, I would like to invite other participants to share their views also.
Good afternoon to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
So
Good
myself,
afternoon.
Dr. Smarita Mahanti from Madhusudan Law University, Qatar. So I would only like to say that when artificial intelligence, it is nothing but you can say a simulation of a human intelligence in making, or you can say that it is a machine that it is propagated, or you can say which is programmed by a human, it's himself. So it is just, it can only think and act like a human, but we cannot compare it to be a human being, as it is being made by a human. So this involves enabling only to make the computers to learn and to make some data or solve some problems. So we can use artificial intelligence only as a friend, and just it cannot be called to be a friend. It is just a tool to be used for our benefit. So the artificial intelligence today, though it has helped in every sphere of life of a human being, but it has lessened the level of critical thinking of a human being, which has led to the risk of depending on it more and more. And also there were speakers, or you can say they have discussed very vividly regarding its positive and negative aspect of AI technology. I thank you all on organizer and also the VC for organizing such a informative and wonderful session. I learned a lot about artificial intelligence, its use, its utility, its positive impact on the society, as well as the negative aspect of its technology, how it is depleting the critical thinking of the students also by using AI. They are not able to, they are not using their own potential, which they could have used in a better way. By taking the help of artificial intelligence, they are doing their or solving problems. And also I came across the different concepts which have been discussed by various speakers. And thank you all for giving a platform for using it. The only thing I want to say, we should use artificial intelligence keeping in view the ethical and the moral.
अभी हम हॉस्टलर का ऑर्डर दिए थे स्कल्पचर.
Yes.
Participant is requested to keep your mic muted.
Yes, I conclude that AI should be used looking into the ethical and the moral values of a human being. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable feedback. And now I would like to invite other participants from group 3. If anyone wants to share anything.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Ma'am, this is Dr. Bhima Indulge, Assistant Professor, Karnataka State Law University. If you permit me, I will present my 5 minutes, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, thank you.
Please carry on.
Yeah, ma'am. Because of network issues, can open my because lot of disturbance is there from my side. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Thank
your
you.
voice is a bit low.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You are
Is it
also.
okay, ma'am? Whether my voice is okay, ma'am? Is it audible now? Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are audible. You may continue, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. From last 3 days, with rapt attention, we are all observing, and even we become a part of this historic event, which is organized by your esteemed institution. And I would like to highlight some of the issues which we have observed, and even we become witness of this wonderful sessions which we had in last 3 days. As we all know, the AI is a part of IP concept, and this is a burning issue in 21st century. And as what I had observed is AI brings the idea of technology which is having a capacity to think for itself, which is initially inherent in humans' cogent process, and it enables a kind of a program or machine to sense and comprehend the environment around it and come up with accurate and quick solutions. Because of this capability, it has already reached at that point where it is able to perform those activities which are normally performed by the human being. A recent report on human, that is artificial intelligence, is normally going to become a fast defining technology of our time. A new UN Trade and Development report project, the global AI market will soar from I think $189 million in 2023 and 24. And even AI could quadruple its share of the global frontier in technological market, which is rising from I think 7% from 2023 to till I think 29% in 2025, and it is as we all know, it is an emerging sector in which is coming in a very dominant force. And if we look into the connection or the relationship between AI and intellectual property, as we are having a very diverse literature which has been developed in AI, and which normally which even argue that the AI generated work could be brought under the purview of copyright laws. And in this regard, I think the I think the IBM research has produced a I think the statement called "It's easy for AI to come up with something novel just randomly, but it's very hard to come up with something that is novel and unexpected and useful." The copyright, as the earlier presenter has highlighted, how copyright is having a relationship with the AI, because copyright is I think giving a protection for literary, artistic, dramatic, sound recording, and even computer programs. In that, I think AI has been included, and copyright is one of the field of IP which is defined as a creation of mind in intangible forms and not like other forms of tangible property. And it cannot be seen or touched but protected under IP regimes. In the same way, the AI has been protected, and in morning session, sir has highlighted that the AI cannot be considered as a separate entity, because we cannot give a separate independent existence to that particular AI software which was developed. And if something goes wrong, then the software creator will be held responsible, not the manufacturer. Hello. Yeah. Because of I think some network issues are there, ma'am, and
No, ma'am, you are fully audible.
a lot of disturbance is there, ma'am. Hello.
वैसे उसने माइंड मतलब ब्रेन वॉश ही किया बच्चों का, पता नहीं क्या बातें कर।
Other participants are requested to keep their mic muted.
Dr. Farah Hayat is using the mobile. Is the mic. Dr. Farah. Yes, so continue, ma'am.
Okay, any other participants?
I think the derivation of UI is not completed. Ask her to complete her derivation.
Hello, am I audible? Hello, any other participant from group 3 wants to share his or her views? You're most welcome. Okay, any other participant from group 2 for yesterday's discussion? Feel free to discuss.
Dr. Tagia, I think coordinator for the day announced the name for the group B. Whether check they are here or not.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Just give me a minute.
Now I'm going to call out the names of the participants from group 3. And those who have already presented, they can just ignore. Dr. Tanvi Sharma, Ms. Sakshi Gupta, Dr. Smriti Raturi Sharma, Dr. Girish already presented, Mr. Mohammad Kaif, Dr. Bheem Bai already presented, Dr. Shubha Lakshmi presented, Dr. Smrita Mohanty, Ms. Arunima Shastri, Dr. Ghazala Sharif, Dr. Abhinav Tomar, Dr. Vijayashri Dubey Pandey. Okay. Now, I'm going to call out the names of the participants from group 2. Anyone from group 3 wants to participate? Now I'm going to call out the names of the participants from group 2. Mr. Sandeep, Dr. Vikal, Mrs. Amrita Chakravarti, Dr. Shikha Mishra, Dr. Uday Veer Singh, Mrs. Priyanka Negi, Miss Purva Bala, Mr. Brajesh Kumar, already presented, Dr. Shalini Tyagi, Mr. Vikrant, Dr. Brajesh Kumar, Dr. Archana Singh, so anyone from group 2 if wants to participate, please share your thoughts with us.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
No. Yes,
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I got for a while I got disconnected, ma'am, because of network issue. Within a minute,
ma'am,
I would
please,
like to
carry
conclude my.
on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I was just discussing the significance of AI in physical world. Just I would like to conclude my views by quoting the statement which was given by Stephen Hawking.
Yes,
Uh,
please,
ho-
ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. He says that success is creating AI world would be biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last. So this quote not only emphasizes the need to understand artificial intelligence, but also serves as a caution regarding its potential impact. So whenever we are using such kind of technology, what I think is we should have a control on usage and like other things. Even AI is having its positive and as well as negative impact. With this, I would like to conclude my views on this AI concept, and I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to call Dr. Ruby Ahmed to discuss about digital accessibility and disability. Please, ma'am, over to you.
So before I start, I'd like to show you a short documentary, and then we will think, and then I will open the floor for further discussion. So basically, it will be about how our laws and the new laws, digital platform should be inclusive. So let's begin with this documentary. It's disabled. The name of the documentary is Disabled. And it's an award-winning documentary. So let's watch that documentary first. Participants, is the voice coming? I guess no. Voice is not coming. No audio. We should restart.
My name is Pratishtha Deveshwar and I'm basically from Punjab. I shifted from Punjab to Delhi 1 year ago. When I came to know that Delhi is accessible and my college is accessible, my joy knew no bounds. I was very happy. But when I actually came here and I was told that PGs around my college are not accessible at all, I was totally disheartened. And for 1 whole month, I had to commute from Gurgaon to Delhi to
Is
attend
the
my
voice
classes.
clear now? Participants, you can please wear the
What
chat
I
box.
have is an impairment. And it is the society, the infrastructure, the attitudes of the society that creates a disabling environment. So if that environment becomes enabling, I won't be disabled. So in that sense, the term disabled is the right term to use because the society is disabling to me.
If you are born in India and you have a disability and you want to move about yourself, it's a nightmare. I don't think the society or the development which is happening is thinking of disabled people. They don't even exist in the agenda. And India is a country which is under construction, as they say, and we have thousands and lakhs of projects coming up every day. I don't think they consider the need of a person with disability in terms of accessibility in any of these projects. And irony is that most
I shifted from Punjab to Delhi 1 year ago. When I came to know that Delhi is accessible and my college is accessible, my joy knew no bounds. I was very happy. But when I actually came here and I was told that PGs around my college are not accessible at all, I was totally disheartened. And for 1 whole month, I had to commute from Gurgaon to Delhi to attend my classes. What I have is an impairment. And it is the society, the infrastructure, the attitudes of the society that creates a disabling environment. So if that environment becomes enabling, I won't be disabled. So in that sense, the term disabled is the right term to use because the society is disabling to me.
if you are born in India and you have a disability and you want to move about yourself, it's a nightmare. I don't think the society or the development which is happening is thinking of disabled people. They don't even exist in the agenda. And India is a country which is under construction, as they say, and we have thousands and lakhs of projects coming up every day. I don't think they consider the need of a person with disability in terms of accessibility in any of these projects. And irony is that most of them would be public buildings funded by the government, the taxpayers' money. It's something you go through every day is difficult. You see a small ramp, curb cut somewhere on the footpath, you feel happy about it. Chalo, I can go, yahan ja sakte hain. You know, keep scanning spaces, ki there are many cafes there, which cafe can I go? Each one you want to go, you find 2 steps, 3 steps. If there's no steps, you are inside, then the washroom is not accessible for you. So it's a hard life.
Whenever I used to go to a theater after my accident to watch a movie, the answer, they were not accessible. And the answer I used to get from them was that, you know, disabled people don't come to watch movies, so why should we make our theater accessible? What profit do we have to gain from this? And I told them that if you will make this place accessible, and this goes for all the other places, all the other commercial places, that if your hotel, cafe, whatever mall is accessible, then people with disabilities will come out of their houses, they will come, and you know, you will profit in the end. At the end of the day, it is our basic right to, you know, access different places.
I know of girl with disability in school who wears a diaper every day, and because she is not able to use the washroom, which is on another level. And if the parents are not talking about this in the school because they think if we raise this issue, they will ask us to withdraw our child from the school. So how sad can it get? And what makes it even more difficult is that when you think that giving a ramp and an accessible toilet means you are accessible is not true.
नहीं लगता है मुझे।
है बट ज़्यादा नहीं है।
हाँ हुआ है एक बार मेरे साथ ऐसी, मतलब वो एक दीदी थी, उनको भी नहीं पता था कि ये बस गलत मतलब कि मंगोलपुरी नहीं जाएगी, उनको लगा कि ये 901 है तो जाएगी। और मैंने फिर उस ड्राइवर से पूछा तो उसने कहा कि हाँ अवंतिका जाएगी, बट वो मैं न्यू दिल्ली रेलवे स्टेशन मुझे लेकर के चली गई थी बस।
नहीं गलत तो नहीं, बट लेट हो जाती है वही नंबर के कारण। बस में नंबर पूछने में काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है।
वो जैसे कि मेट्रो स्टेशन में अनाउंसमेंट होता है ना, उसे वो सुविधा बस में भी होनी चाहिए।
हाँ, बसों में ब्रेल में लिखा होना चाहिए या फिर कोई रिकॉर्डिंग सिस्टम होना चाहिए।
If you suppose you visit a place, if you visit a mall and there are no ways to enter it, there are no stairs, lift, nothing is there, and you are not able to enter it, you will feel disabled at that point of time because the infrastructure is not enabling. It is not enabling you to enter that place, and that is exactly what people with disabilities feel.
Our Transport Minister Kailash Gehlot, he's brought in a policy wherein people who are differently abled, when they're traveling in the buses, their travel is going to be free. The other thing that we've brought in is that in the broader definition of what disabled or differently abled meant, only included physical and slightly mental disabledness. While we've improved the sense of what differently abled means, and then we've included a lot of other people who are abled differently when it comes to being mentally disabled. So we're working on various policies, especially in schools, since we've all heard, I think, that we brought in major educational changes.
The society looks at people with disabilities like as if they are aliens. Whenever I go out, people are staring at me, making comments, random comments. They'll come and say anything, oh ho bechari. So once I remember I was coming from a concert. It was late at night. I was coming from a concert with my boyfriend, and we were in the lift, and there was this man who looked at me and he said, oh ho, bada bura hua aapke saath. I looked at him, I asked him what happened. I looked at my boyfriend, I'm like, ठीक दिखता है ये तो बुरा क्या हुआ मेरे साथ? And then he said कि नहीं मतलब you are on a wheelchair, and So there was this mirror in the lift, and I could see myself beaming from ear to ear. I was smiling, I was so happy, but he chose to ignore my smile and just look at my wheelchair, because for people, this is my identity. They think that they just look at the wheelchair as me, and I am my wheelchair for them. So I think that needs to change, and when people start looking at people with disabilities as equal, as human beings, that thin glass wall between you and the disabled person, it breaks away very easily when you acknowledge that that person is also a human being. It is the body that is disabled, but friendship and love come from the soul, and souls are not disabled.
So yes, that's a documentary on disability, and basically this documentary
मैं सिर्फ
Thank you, Prashant sir. So this documentary, as we have seen, basically talks about disability, and that's only we can see the girl who is having locomotor disability. And the main person who was also speaking in this documentary is the chairperson of National Center for Promotion of Employment for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. Arman Ali, and he is a disability activist. So the concept of disability, why I'm talking and feel that this could be one of the right platform to discuss. First, I'd like to bring your attention on some data. India's position in the Global Digital Accessibility Rights Evaluation Index, which measures a country's legal framework, implementation capacity, and outcomes related to digital accessibility for persons with disability, is the global ranking is 45th worldwide, and India's score is 48 out of 100. So, according to the data shared by the World Health Organization, 15% of the population live with some form of disability worldwide. Secondly, while over 80% of this 15% of population, they live in low and middle income countries. And while India is home to over 1.36 billion residents, and over 2.2% of this population endures some form of severe mental or physical disability. Now, how many of us agree with this, that disability can happen to any one of us, right? Any one of us who are present in this meeting, and that can happen to us at any point of time. May I know how many of you feel or agree to this, that it can happen, any one of us at any point of life. Do you all, how many of you agree? Or someone here that you feel that no, it can't happen to us. We are exempted. Anyone here who feel that no, we are exempted. It can't happen to us because we are God's special soul. So we are exempted. Anyone? My question is, how many of us present in this meeting feel that disability cannot happen to us? We are exempted from disability because we are, God's special soul. Any one of us who feel that no, it can't happen to me? Please think. Because, I'm not here to give any kind of lecture. I'm here to just think and introspect and to sensitize ourselves that why disability can also be an ingredient for making our laws more inclusive and accessible. And specifically, the digital environment, our websites, right, are all those digital platforms that so-called able person can use, why not a disabled person are allowed to use all those facilities? And from the past 2-3 days, we are talking about so many things, that how AI can be a negative thing, right? So how AI can be have negative implications in our life. But for the disabled people, it's a like a powerful tool with the help of which they can feel more inclusive, more empowered, and they can access their accessibility improves. So anyone who thinks that no, it can't happen to us, we are exempted from disability. That's actually very different topic, how to understand disability, right? Understanding disability is a completely different thing. And it needs some comment. Okay. So it's a different thing. And when we talk about disability, first, let me clear, none of us can say that we are exempted from disability as because we are God's special soul, right? Disability can come to any one of us at any point of our life. It may be an accident, right? It may be due to any kind of disease. It may be due to any kind of accident also. And in every moment, right, when we are not allowed to use our own device, say for example, if I now say that please, and someone else's device is given to me to attend this meeting, for that moment, I will feel disabled, right? So think about those persons who are disabled, not only locomotor, there are so many disabilities issues are in India. And under the 2016 Persons with Disabilities Act, there are such kind of 21 disabilities which are enumerated here in a list. And these disabilities, the persons having with these disabilities with 40% of disability, those are considered as having benchmark disabilities. They're entitled to each and every fundamental rights. So they cannot be exempted that as because they are having this disability, so they are not allowed to right to education, right to employment, or right to access any public places. No, it can't. So the Act says that even if a person is having disability, the person will have each and every right, and accessibility, the right to accessibility is one among them. And when I say the right to accessibility, the right to access the digital media platform, right? It may be any platform for entertainment. It may be any platform for the payment issue, right? It may be any digital platform. The rule says that, global guideline says that once an organization, institution, or individual is designed a particular website, that check need to be maintained, that particular website need to be accessible for the persons with disability. And again, when I say the disability, it can be a person with having low vision or blindness, having hearing impairment, having multiple disabilities, or any other intellectual disabilities. So let's see what are the disabilities. Those are mentioned under the Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. For your information, I can say that this act has been amended in the year 2016 after this UN Convention for the Persons with Disabilities in the year 2006. So, after this convention, the Indian government was bound to change their own laws according to the provisions of the UNCRPD, that means the UN Conventions for the Persons with Disabilities. So, these disabilities are, first of all, blindness, low vision, leprosy cured persons, hearing impairment, which include deaf and hard of hearing, locomotor disability, dwarfism, intellectual disability, mental illness, autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, chronic neurological conditions, specific learning disabilities, multiple sclerosis, speech and language disability, thalassemia, hemophilia, sickle cell disease, multiple disabilities including deaf blindness, acid attack victim, and the Parkinson's disease also. So, all these disabilities, including the acid attack victim and Parkinson's disease. Now, I'm going to draw your attention towards a particular judgment, which in the month of April, the Supreme Court has given a path-breaking decision, and the judgment is Pragya Prasoon and others versus Union of India, and which was decided in the month of April 2025. So, in this path-breaking judgment, which was delivered on April 30, the Supreme Court of India has fundamentally redefined the whole landscape of digital accessibility in the country. So, my idea here is to connect the disability with the rights of accessibility. And when I say accessibility here, I mean to say the digital accessibility. So in this judgment, the issue came in front of the court when an acid attack victim, they approached the court because they found it difficult to file their KYC, as because she was an acid attack victim. Her face was not recognized during this process. Now, because she comes under the whole list of these categories, the definition of disability under the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2006, she approached to the court, and the court in this judgment, they said that the key barrier identified the petitioners was the requirement for a live photograph involving eye blinking during the digital verification, a task which was impossible for those with certain disabilities, and the acid attack victims are among one of them. So, current digital KYC methods involving the face recognition, selfies, on-screen signatures, and other visual verification techniques have effectively barred many persons with disabilities from independently accessing the banking services, telecommunications, and government schemes, right? So, we can't deny them. We can't deny them. And as we have chosen our theme of this FDP is law, artificial intelligence, and the digital society. And in this age of information and communication, how can we forget a large section of the society who are with disabilities? So we can't exclude them. Our laws should be inclusive. So the invisible barrier in digital infrastructure, this judgment meticulously documents the multiple barriers embedded in current digital KYC process, and these include undefined liveness criteria that typically default to eye blinking. They were supposed to jahan pe ye liveness, they were asking eye blinkingness should be there. But it's very difficult for the acid attack victims. Inaccessible interfaces incompatible with screen readers, selfie face verification requiring camera alignment is impossible for visually impaired users. So, in this judgment, the Supreme Court has tried not only to include not only amend the acid attack victims, but all those persons who are having disabilities and who are facing problems regarding this KYC or any other government procedure for their face recognition, etc. So this type of technical and procedural barriers collectively amount to a form of systematic discrimination, preventing persons with disabilities from exercising their right to financial inclusion, telecommunication access, and participation in government schemes, which I already said. Now, the UNCRPD, the judgment also refers the document of UNCRPD, particularly the Article 9, which talks about accessibility. right? Secondly, this Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016 was also referred by this Supreme Court judgment, especially sections 13, 21, 40, 42, and 46. I'm not going in detail because the time will not permit what are those articles actually about. And the Rights of Persons with Disability rules, which was framed in the year 2017, specifically the rules 8 and 15. Apart from this, there are two other important documents, very, very important documents, which we all can access in the website, official website of Department of Employment of Persons with Disability. That was a particular department which deals with the matters related to disability. So these special documents are the National Policy on Universal Electronic Accessibility Document 2013. And another document is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, that is WCAG, and Guidelines for Indian Government Website. So there's a universal guideline is there, and in confirmation to this universal guideline, the Indian government has also framed their guidelines. So in this particular judgment, the Supreme Court has also referred some very previous important decisions. One of them is Rajiv Ratori versus Union of India, and the Bikas Kumar versus Union of Public Service Commission 2021, and the Disabled Right Groups Union of India, which was a case during the year 2018. So to particularly establish that digital accessibility is not merely a statutory right, but a constitutional imperative. So this particular judgment actually tried to redefine the Article 21 in this digital age, and it says that Article 21 of the Constitution, the right to life and personal liberty in the context of the digital era, and in this contemporary era where access to essential services, governance, education, healthcare, and economic opportunities is increasingly mediated through the digital platforms, the right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution must be interpreted in the light of these technological realities. So, AI tools and the digital platform is always beneficial for our disabled group of people. Now, these are the 21 disabilities which are enumerated under the PWD Act in India. These are certain names which was not earlier in the 1995 Act, and only there are 7 categories of disabilities in that 1995 Act. But this 2016 Act, though it has made the list longer one, but there are certain disabilities which are still considered as invisible disabilities. The disabilities group in India are still considered as the invisible group in our society. So here I would like to conclude and ask for comments that how do you feel, or how do you like to see this issue that our digital platforms, our AI tools that need to be inclusive and accessible, and to make them inclusive and accessible, universal design, the concept of universal design need to be applied, right? So this is my humble submission that we should think about this, right? So in this regard, the comprehensive directives are issued for certain systematic change, and the Supreme Court has issued basically 20 detailed directives to various government authorities and regulatory bodies, creating a roadmap for a comprehensive reform. First of all, this suggested that appointment of nodal officers for digital accessibility compliance, mandatory periodic accessibility audits by certified professionals, alternative methods for verifying liveness beyond eye blinking, etc. Now, here in this regard, I again wanted to highlight another term which is very much familiar for the disabled groups. And this is another government body, government organization. In short, it's known as ALIMCO. right? ALIMCO. And its full form is Artificial Limbs Manufacturing Corporation of India. And you know, what is the main purpose of Elinco? Elinco, from time to time, they used to provide the necessary aids, you know, for the locomotor disability. Just now I have seen that person who are cerebral palsy cured, or those who suffer from cerebral palsy, they are wheelchair bound. So this, for them, this Elimpo, they try to provide wheelchair and other assistive devices so that life of disabled people become easier. So Elimpo, in their they said that true empowerment begins with access to technology that enhances independence and dignity. At Elimpo, they said that we are leveraging artificial intelligence and indigenous innovation to build a future where no one is left behind. Mr. Praveen Kumar, few days back, who is the CMD of Elimpo, this was his remark. And according to him, for this financial year, that is 2025 and 26, this corporation is preparing to launch another wave of assistive technologies, including a universal socket, upgraded motorized tricycles, and wheelchairs, currently in different stages of design, prototyping, or user trials. Other upcoming devices, including a commode wheelchair and an assistive cane for visually impaired persons. So, this was the step taken by Elimco, that is Artificial Limbs Manufacturing Corporation of India. Now, my point here is, few days back, when we say this disability groups, organizations, or the disability activists, right? The debates going on regarding a particular provision of this Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2013. Sorry, 23, right? So this Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, it has a provision of consent provision. So, you know, another thing we have to think that, you know, when we say disability, the disability can be physical as well as mental, right? And to have a consent, right, have an informed consent, it's a very big issue for the persons having mental disability. So here, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2020, this consent provision where the digital intermediaries require the consent of an individual for the storage and use of the personal data. The provision is a key point to the Act as it ensures the transparency and accountability of the personal data transmission and usage. Now, the question is, if a person is a disabled, they are having disability, and I already come to a conclusion that no one of us now can think that we are exempted from any kind of disability, right? The disability can happen any one of us at any phase of our life, right? So this thing that the person is having disability, this doesn't mean that the person will be asked his or her private information in any of the digital platform. Now, it's a violation of right to privacy. So when we talk about the consent, right? Consent provision, this DP Act 2023 says that if a person is having disability, then they're supposed to provide more and more information. Now, the question is, it is okay, right? It will be okay when you talk about a consent provision, right? If the person is trying to having any kind of financial transactions, right? And the person is not mentally sound. So on behalf of this person who is not mentally sound, his or her guardian will give the consent. But what if the person is not having any such kind of issue and he can or she can easily provide consent? Why she or he will be asked her personal information all the time, or why he or she should ask permission from his or her guardian or parents? Say, for example, why a girl who is a girl having or woman having disability, if she is willing to purchase sanitary pad online, why she will be asking, why it is required to ask for her guardian's permission or parents' permission? So this is the issue basically regarding this consent provision under the DPDP Act, which was very much discussed and for the by the disability activist groups and the persons with disabilities and their basic concern. So the basically this act, the particular section is, I guess, yeah, the controversial section is section 9, and the relevant rule of this act, the relevant rule is rule number 10. So section 9 in the act and rule number 10 of this particular rule. Okay. So any comment, any opinion till now?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I
Yes,
would like to
ma'am.
say that in this age of AI, if we are not able to help these disabled persons, then what is the use of this digital society? We must try to take the advantage of.
Sorry to interrupt. Ma'am, it will be nice if you can write your comment. Just a
Yes.
minute.
Ma'am, could you please repeat the question? Actually, your voice was cracking actually. So could you please again repeat? Ma'am, could you please repeat your question? Actually, your voice was cracking. So I believe Dr. Rumi ma'am has not.
Yeah, any other comment? Ma'am, you can please repeat your comment question.
Ma'am, I was saying that if in this digital society, if we are not able to help this disabled person, then what is the use of this digital society or this
Exactly.
in the age of AI? And even if there are protections or laws made for them, there is no proper implementation. And people who are disabled, maybe they are not well aware where to go and where to proceed to get the help or to get that access towards the justice towards them. That is the most important thing.
Exactly, ma'am. Nicely observed, Dr. Sumedha. That's actually my concern. See, we have so many rights, under these Persons with Disability Act, starting from education, employment, and accessibility, which include to access all the places. A few years back, during 2000, immediately after this UNCRPD, and when this new law came, Rights of Persons with Disability Act came. Immediately after that, we had seen that most of our government schools, the ramps were made, right? Ramps, matlab hum जब भी किसी स्कूल में I was one of them when I used to go to the government schools and conduct programs for the teachers and the primary stakeholders, and suddenly we observed कि नया ramp बना है, and the ramps we just those ramp we just saw and we just laughed because just a ramp because those designs of the ramp were not perfect because उन लोगों को लगता है कि बस एक sloping बना देने से ramp हो जाएगा. now the sloping is of so much that a wheelchair can't move there. Right? So this is actually the mentality. Until and unless, the one of the most of the important and most famous slogan of the disability activist group is nothing without us, about us. मतलब हमारे बिना हमारे लिए कोई डिसीजन नहीं लिया जाएगा, कोई भी पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क नहीं बनाया जाएगा, कोई भी लॉ नहीं बनाया जाएगा. Now, yesterday or day before yesterday, I had a conversation with a professor who himself had certain disabilities, and he was talking, right? He was like a person who used to had meetings, consultations, and programs, etc. And उनका कहना था कि मैम जो ये जो लॉ बनाया जाता है, जो ये स्लोगन है, nothing about us without us, ये बस नाम के लिए होता है, right? Because they just include, but our opinions. Right? Our opinions are never included in our policy frameworks and the disability laws. Now, in this disability also, this concept itself is an evolving concept, right? This is so vast. This concept is so vast. And to understand this, and all of us agree that, yes, we aware about this law, that there is a law called Rights of Persons with Disabilities, ऐसा भी है. But the sensitivity is lacking, right? How to make those laws? So without having us sensitive people in our legislation, right? Framers of the legislations or the policymakers or who frame the guidelines actually, this inclusivity and the accessibility with the help of the concept of universal design, it is not possible at all. Yes, rightly observed, Mr. Brajesh Kumar. Ramps are not only steep, but also made of a material which becomes slippery during the rains. Of course, that's why I'm saying, क्योंकि बस ramp बनाना है, उनको बस इतना समझ में आ गया है कि एक sloping सा बनाना है. Now, what is the width? What should be the width of that ramp? What particular material need to be used? What angle the sloping need to be there? Everything has been mentioned under the guidelines. Who will see, who will read those guidelines and implement those guidelines? So that is the main problem. Laws are there, but proper implementation is not there. Proper implementation, and that is the lack of sensitivity, right? Because वो हम समझना ही नहीं चाहते हैं. And that's why I have started my discussion that we shouldn't forget that disability can come any one of us at any point of our life, right? So aging, ये हम कोई भी मतलब so anyone have any comment?
Participants are requested to kindly keep your mic on mute mode, please.
Yeah. So we have seen, so coming to the AI tools and the digital platforms again. So AI tools are very, very much essential for our disabled people, right? So I have seen the people suffering from Parkinson's disease, right? So if a person is having Parkinsonism, the assistive tools, the designing of assistive tools, AI tools can be very much helpful for their life. Those who cannot think or who's in Parkinson's disease, whose instructions in the brains have failed, and due to this they can't move their body, right? वो instructions से नहीं आते हैं Parkinsonism में कि आपको अपना हाथ उठा के गिलास लेना है, and they can't hold a glass or a spoon, or they can't use their do their daily activities. So in this regard, for the persons of disabilities, the AI can be a very useful tool. And we should be grateful to this artificial intelligence where, again, to few days back, I was watching another documentary regarding this, which was made by pro bono India, which is again another platform, is working in association with National Law Universities for the persons with disabilities. In that, one of the student of the NLU, National Law University, he shared his view that कि ये तो है कि हमारे पास जो tool है, we as a blind student or a low vision student, we can access the books or the reading materials, but we are not able to convert the documents which are in PDF. Now, why discrimination is here? As because the person is disabled, there should not be no such kind of disability regarding the accessibility. And when I say accessibility, it's not only confined to access to education, employment, or a public building, but digital accessibility is also included. So that's it, that persons with disability also do have same or similar right? Right to having digital accessibility is a fundamental right of this, including persons with disability also. And while doing so, the government bodies, the policy framers should not forget about this mass of people who are having disabilities, and they should approach this while designing these policies and law, the concept of universal design. So thank you so much. If you have any comment, any observation, or anything you can add to this. See, I'm not here to give any kind of expert session here. It's just a few thoughts which I would like to share in this platform. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. Any comment, any opinion you can share with us. Thank you so much. Over to Amrita.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rumi ma'am. It was really very informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rumi Ahmed, for such an informative session. It was really very enriching for all of us. And now I would like to invite Ms. Radha for the vote of thanks, and thank you to all the participants for their active engagement throughout this session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ms. Amrita ma'am, for inviting me for vote of thanks. A very good afternoon, all of you again. So now it's time for vote of thanks for today's session. So it is indeed an honor and privilege for me to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on this special occasion on behalf of the Department of Law, GIMS Greater Noida. So firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to our chairman, Dr. Amit Gupta sir, director, Dr. Sachin Yadav sir, whose vision and leadership have been instrumental in providing an environment of academic excellence. Now, I extend my special thanks to our head of department, Professor Dr. Pallavi Gupta ma'am, whose guidance and commitment have played a vital role in this FDP and ensuring its continued success. A special word of thanks to Dr. Professor Ajay Kumar Tyagi sir, whose dedication and mentorship have been valuable for us. I am immensely grateful to our admin and IT teams and to our organizing committee and faculty members. Thank you for your constant support and hard work. With that, I once again express my sincere gratitude to each one of you for your presence and contribution. May this event be a great success, and I look forward for more exciting and thought-provoking session. Thank you all. So, thank you all the participants. Now,